exploring the fascinating and macabre realities of medieval medicine. Welcome, dear audience, to a journey through the chilling and intriguing realm of medicine during the Middle Ages. In our modern era, breakthroughs in water purification, vaccines, advanced medications, cutting-edge technology, and surgical procedures have greatly extended human life expectancy. However, not long ago, medicine was a vastly different and considerably riskier endeavor. Imagine a world devoid of clean drinking water, lacking the aid of microscopes, medical examinations, or effective pharmaceuticals. In this presentation, we will delve into the challenges faced by medieval physicians, the curious and spine-chilling methods they employed to safeguard the population's health, the medicines they used, and the progress they made despite their numerous limitations. Number 1. Animals as remedies. Throughout history, herbs have played a significant role in medical treatments, but animals also had their place in the medical arsenal during the Middle Ages. Living snails, for instance, were used to treat burns by placing them atop the wounds to alleviate pain. Remarkably, the slime of snails finds a place in many modern burn creams and lotions. Similarly, deceased moles were used to address migraines, and concoctions made from cat fat, swine, and hedgehogs were employed to create brews for throat infections. Even dog feces were utilized to tackle lung and respiratory issues. These practices may seem perplexing today, but they highlight the ingenuity of medical practitioners of the time. Number 2. Urine as a treatment. The medieval era, marked by frequent military conflicts, saw unconventional approaches in wartime medicine. Soldiers often turned to unconventional resources, such as urine, to clean wounds. Medical practitioners of the time even recommended urine for treating insect bites, burns, and various skin lesions. In 1666, urine was even proposed as a treatment for the plague. Furthermore, urine was used for disease diagnosis, with physicians tasting the urine to discern ailments due to the lack of laboratory tests. This unique diagnostic approach, though peculiar, laid the foundation for modern urine analysis. Number 3. Medicine from corpses. While contemporary medical education commonly involves the use of cadavers for anatomical study, medieval medicine took this concept to a different level. Physicians in the Middle Ages often prescribed body parts to address diverse ailments. For instance, powdered skull was used to alleviate headaches, and ground bones were employed to mitigate arthritis symptoms. These practices may sound unsettling, but they pale in comparison to the practices of the Roman Empire, where consuming blood and organs of fallen soldiers was believed to transfer their spirit and magical essence. Number 4. The origins of medieval medicine. European medieval medicine was an amalgamation of beliefs, ideas, and practices inherited from ancient civilizations. Following the decline of the Western Roman Empire, medical knowledge was built upon documents and texts from ancient Greece and Rome. Number 5. The Hippocratic influence. The foundations of medieval medicine trace back to the traditions of ancient Greece, primarily embodied in the works of Hippocrates. His treatises set the groundwork for medical practice and patient care. This tradition persists today through the Hippocratic Oath, a set of guiding principles that all Western physicians publicly pledge upon graduating from their studies. Number 6. Greek philosophical beliefs. Greek philosophers viewed the human body as a microcosm reflecting the natural world. Hippocrates integrated this philosophy into his medical theories, attributing bodily health to a balance of 4 humors representing fire, air, earth, and water. These humors were thought to influence an individual's well-being through qualities of heat, cold, dryness, and moisture. Medical consultations included both physical examinations and astrological assessments, as the heavens were believed to influence the humors' balance. Number 7. Blending of cultures. Rather than solely relying on Greek beliefs, the Hippocratic treatises were a compilation of knowledge from various cultures. Due to the expansive Hellenistic Empire, Greek physicians were exposed to practices such as surgery from Alexandria in ancient Egypt, where cadaver research was more advanced. Practices like chanting, dream interpretation, and prayer were also adopted in healing. Number 8. Pagan roots of medieval medicine. Despite the dominance of Catholicism, medieval medicine retained pagan roots. Belief in the humoral theory and the study of medicinal plants persisted alongside religious practices. Medicine in this era was not merely a matter of prayer, it encompassed a rich fusion of traditions, offering a unique glimpse into the complex tapestry of medieval healing. Number 9. Empirical nature of medieval medicine. Much of the medical knowledge that emerged during the Middle Ages was rooted in empirical work, experimentation through trial and error. Medicine of the time focused primarily on curing ailments and diseases rather than uncovering their causes and origins. It was a reactive approach, responding to discomfort rather than seeking preventive measures for preserving health. This was partly due to the prevailing belief that the origins of diseases were supernatural. Number 10. Study in monasteries. The practice of medicine has always been reserved for the select few, even in ancient times when specific knowledge was required for its practice. During the Middle Ages, monasteries served as key centers for medical practice, maintaining gardens with specialized medicinal plants for treatments. These gardens, meticulously tended even during winter, often housed plants imported from the southern hemisphere to ensure a diverse collection. Besides their religious significance, monasteries were intellectual hubs. Before the establishment of hospitals, many monasteries opened their doors to individuals seeking relief from illnesses. Number 11. Blending medical and spiritual care. Within monasteries, natural remedies were combined with spiritual traditions to treat patients. Herbal remedies were administered alongside rituals and practices performed by monks and nuns. Religious practitioners viewed medicinal herbs as gifts from God, part of nature's healing process. Number 12. Expansion of natural treatment research. In monasteries, a tradition of written texts and treatises centered on medicinal herbs and their properties emerged. Monks translated ancient works on plants and expanded upon them with their own knowledge and experimentation. They reorganized existing texts, adding tables of contents for easy reference, and assessed the effectiveness of various plants in treating symptoms. Through trial and evaluation, they included those that showed promise while discarding remedies that proved ineffective. These texts, adorned with illustrations for plant identification, marked the earliest development of medical literature during the Middle Ages. Number 13. The influence of Galen. Galen of Pergamon, a profoundly influential Greek physician, left an indelible mark on medical history. Considered a medical classic, his works described the four classic symptoms of inflammation: redness, pain, heat, and swelling. Galen's contributions extended to infectious diseases and pharmacology, shaping medieval medicine to an extent that inadvertently hindered its progress. Galen studied anatomy using animals, predominantly apes, sheep, goats, and pigs. This skewed perception of human anatomy delayed accurate understanding. He believed blood contained pneuma, the spirit of life, rendering it red, and proposed that blood entered the heart through porous walls in the heart's ventricles, impeding the study of human circulation. Number 14. Limited access to physicians. Despite the emergence of medical knowledge, the majority of medieval society seldom encountered a physician in their lifetime. Medical practice was largely confined to wise women, local priests, or barbers who received most patients. These individuals were adept at tasks such as tooth extraction, setting broken bones, and even performing surgical interventions. In general, medical practitioners were accessible mainly to the upper classes, the wealthy, and the royalty. Number 15, surgical practices from diverse cultures. Medieval surgical practices were influenced by the ancient traditions of Egypt, Greece, and the Arab world. The advanced medical knowledge of the Arab civilization greatly impacted surgical techniques. Initially disparate and unorganized, surgical practices became uniform and tested methods through the establishment of universities. Number 16, plants in surgical procedures. Herbal treatments played a pivotal role in the development of surgery. Medicinal plants were used as antiseptics to prevent infections in surgical wounds. Wine was employed to cleanse wounds, and natural ointments and fire were used for cauterization. The value of clean water and knowledge of microorganisms were yet unknown, thus these practices were founded on empirical observation. Medieval physicians regarded pus as a sign of healing, believing it indicated the body's purification process without comprehending infection or hygiene. Number 17, primitive anesthesia. Although medieval medicine lacked modern pharmaceuticals and anesthesia, patients often needed sedation during surgeries. Limited resources included mandrake roots, opium, wild boar bile, or hemlock for this purpose. Number 18, shallow surgical procedures. Despite their courage in making incisions and wounds, medieval surgeries were primarily superficial. Most procedures were external, lacking deep tissue or organ interventions. Focus was placed on treating cataracts, ulcers, and certain wounds. Records indicate surgeries to remove bladder stones were also performed. Number 19, rise of medical universities. Around 1066 AD, the uniformity of medical education began to take shape with the establishment of universities, most notably Oxford and Paris. By the 12th century, various medical schools had sprouted across Europe. One of the most renowned was in Salerno, Italy, where a Christian, an Arab, and a Jew founded a medical school in a city free from ecclesiastical control. Curiously, this school welcomed women as students. Number 20, lessons from early medical schools. These early medical schools initially covered a range of subjects. Students learned the art of diagnosis through methods such as examining urine samples, palpating the body, and feeling the patient's pulse. Various surgical techniques were taught, including amputations, cauterization, cataract removal, tooth extractions, and trepanation, a procedure involving drilling holes in the skull. Number 21, unique hospitals of the time. Medieval hospitals differed significantly from their modern counterparts. They resembled hospices, catering to the sick, poor, disabled, migrants, travelers, orphans, individuals with mental ailments, and those with nowhere else to turn. These hospitals provided refuge, sustenance, and medical care when needed. Their purpose extended beyond treating diseases to shielding those in need. Number 22, limited number of hospitals. During the early Middle Ages, these refuges were sparse across Europe. In the early medieval era, France saw hospitals in Lyon, 542 AD, and Paris, 652 AD. The first English hospital was established in 937 AD by the Saxons, while the Hospital of St. Bartholomew in London, founded in 1123 AD, remains a prominent hospital to this day. The need for public health expanded due to epidemics and conflicts, leading to the proliferation of hospital construction. Number 23, tense relationship with the Church. Medicine in the Middle Ages had a complex association with the Catholic Church, the dominant institution in Western Europe. The Church's religious influence gradually led many healers to replace pagan practices with Catholic prayers and rituals. This shift involved penance, pilgrimage, and superstitious practices like touching relics of saints. Number 24, impact of epidemics. The opening of trade routes during the Middle Ages exposed Europeans to new diseases. The first documented pandemic, the Justinian Plague, 541 to 700 AD, is estimated to have claimed half of Europe's population. Number 25, the Black Death. The worst pandemic in European history was the Black Death, a bubonic plague that originated in Asia and struck Europe in the 1340s. At least 25 million Europeans perished. It's believed the plague entered the continent through Italian merchant ships. Number 26, early biological warfare. The Black Death was so lethal that it's considered one of the earliest instances of biological warfare. In the walls of Kafar, in the Crimea region, it's said that Mongols attempted to infect the city's defenders by catapulting plague-infested corpses over the walls. This act likely initiated the spread of the Black Death across Europe. Outbreaks of the plague persisted until the 17th century. Number 27, practice of bloodletting. The practice of bloodletting was inherited from ancient Greek traditions aligned with Hippocrates' humor theory. Following these ideas, Galen theorized that extracting a small amount of blood from patients could balance their humors, leading to the widespread popularity of bloodletting. It was recommended for various conditions including smallpox, fainting, gout, and even bad temper. The procedure involved specific instruments to cut blood vessels in the neck and forearm, or leeches were used as a less gruesome alternative. Even today, bloodletting is occasionally employed in specific and rare medical cases. Number 28, the chilling practice of trepanation. Trepanation involves drilling holes into a patient's skull. In contemporary times, this practice serves various purposes. However, in the Middle Ages, it was employed for diverse ailments including headaches, epilepsy, mental disorders, and head injuries. A startling belief existed that individuals with mental illnesses were possessed by demons. Trepanation was undertaken by physicians to release these malevolent spirits from the patient's head. An eerie truth must be acknowledged: those undergoing trepanation in medieval times remained awake throughout the procedure, often performed at home without anesthesia or pain relief. Number 29, the belief in the wandering womb. Medieval physicians held minimal interest and knowledge about the female body, particularly its reproductive structures. Yet, they believed that a woman's uterus had a life of its own, intensely desiring to carry a fetus. It was thought that if a woman didn't conceive regularly, her uterus would abandon its pelvic position and roam her body in search of something to fill its solitary state. A wandering uterus was considered dire, capable of causing severe illnesses and hysteria by colliding with vital organs and damaging them, including the lungs, risking suffocation. Physicians would place unpleasant odors under the woman's nose and pleasant scents between her legs, hoping to coerce the uterus back to its proper place. Number 30, advancements and legacy of medieval medicine. Although the Middle Ages are often dubbed the era of quackery, this period witnessed significant medical progress. It was during this time that surgeries, studies in medical chemistry, dissections, and the first medical schools emerged. Medical knowledge evolved from oral traditions and superstitions to written treatises and university programs. Additionally, the first women physicians emerged during this era. The Middle Ages marked the commencement of experiments in chemistry, the foundations for treatments, advancements in autopsies, and understanding of human anatomy. Number 31, evolution leading to the Renaissance. From the 1450s, the Middle Ages paved the way for the Renaissance, an era characterized by rediscovery of human reason and knowledge. This period witnessed numerous technological, philosophical, and scientific breakthroughs. The Renaissance medical practices largely continued the learnings of the Middle Ages, applying similar diagnostic methods. However, scientific advancements shed more light on bodily functions, leading to significant steps like the creation of the first vaccine. As with all human disciplines, gradual development through learning and experience in each historical period, was instrumental. The Middle Ages, often viewed as a dark era, in truth, set the stage for discoveries and paradigm shifts in medicine. Despite the era's difficulties and ignorance, the multitude of risky methods practiced regularly is both astounding and chilling. We hope this video has been informative. If you have anything to add, please share it with us in the comments section. Like and share this video with your friends and family. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on all our social media platforms, which you'll find in the description below. Remember, a people who are unaware of their history are destined to repeat it.